Showtime, a-holes!
Hello, I'm Jake Travaskis, and this week we are reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. In 2014, the world of cinema received one of its greatest surprises in a bizarre Marvel space superhero film with a gun-toting talking raccoon, a walking tree, Chris Pratt, and one of the best 80s soundtracks of recent memory. It was a film of pure popcorn entertainment that's gone on to be called the best Marvel film ever. Well, 3 years later, we have its sequel. But the big question is it better than the first? Is that even possible? Well, kinda. Returning to the fray are all your favourite characters, played by Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Bradley Cooper and Dave Bautista. James Gunn is back as writer-director as well. We pick up as the gang are working mercenary jobs before they run into Ego, played by Kurt Russell, who reveals himself to be Star-Lord's dad.
And who the hell are you?
I'm your dad, Peter.
And from there we sort of get a father-son story mixed in with tales of revenge and galactic dominance. Now, the best thing about this film is that it easily captures the fun of the first. All the riffing and banter from these characters is there, with plenty of space action mixed with 80s hits and an adorable little baby Groot. Also, Drax had me laughing in my chair just as much as the first. He's a real standout in this one.
She just told everyone your deepest, darkest secret.
Dude, come on. I think you're overreacting a little bit.
You must be so embarrassed.
And to tell you the truth, for the first half of this film, I actually did think it was going to surpass the first. But that was until one point where it takes a bit of a different turn. And after that, my feelings kind of wavered, as it goes down a certain path that certainly isn't bad, but maybe not what I was expecting from a Guardians film. But it does allow it to take a more emotional approach with these characters, which is interesting. How successful they are at going at that direction, well, it depends on your relationship with your father, I suppose. However, there are also many moments in this film that fail to recapture the first, and as a result, comes off a little forced. That was definitely the case with some of the jokes and lines of dialogue. Also for me, the soundtrack wasn't nearly as good, and it didn't have that same energy. So for the casual viewer, this is still a highly enjoyable sci-fi adventure. Chris Pratt is charming as always, and it follows that typical Marvel formula of always managing to satisfy its audience. For the Guardians fans, you may come off a little disappointed by this one, and that's only because the bar was set so high with the original. It's just not the Empire Strikes Back that we all hope for, and as a result, it's a bit of a meh film. Still a lot of fun though. I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars.